Yeah. So I'm choosing the cloud technology course. So in that, I am preferring AWS. I have multiple reasons why I have chosen AWS. There are many platforms outside like AWS, Azure, and GCP also. Many items are widely used. GCP is not that much used compared to AWS and Azure because these are old and traditional. And coming to the AWS and Azure, AWS is most famous one and widely used, but we can't say Azure is not widely used. Azure is also widely used. If you can see in offices, many companies they use Teams and many Microsoft suites. For the many Microsoft suites, they already pay so much to the Microsoft for 365 Teams and many items of the Microsoft. In that part, they are buying Microsoft Azure also. So Azure is also having the same demand like AWS. But I can say one thing, learning any of the cloud skill, one or two is also okay. Because in other cloud platforms, maybe just terminologies differ. Not everything will differ when you go there. Maybe in AWS, their instances or servers called can be called as EC2, whereas in Azure you will call it as VMs. Functionality is same. Like there it is calling as EC2 and in Azure it is calling as VM. It is called as VM. So what I can say is learning any platform and understanding of the single cloud platform is also enough to understand other cloud platforms. I'm not saying just learn one. So this is what I choose because that's famous one and widely used. So coming to the main point, what I can say. This is unlimited 6, right? Okay. Hmm. Okay. Coming to the AWS cloud. First of all, let's discuss what is cloud here. So what is cloud? Cloud basically refers to some remote server hosted on internet that can store, manage, and process data. What I can say is why we are using cloud. Why we got cloud? First of all, we have to understand the basic concepts, then we can understand other concepts very well. Basically, previously, if you can see in your college libraries or anywhere, in offices, anywhere, used to be having a rooms, server rooms. If you can see that server room is filled up with all systems and all hardware components locked from inside, and it would be having a AC running inside that centralized on-premises servers. So basically, what I can say is, uh, these servers, whatever the centralized servers that I'm saying, they should have lot of maintenance. For example, maybe your college library needs, or your college whole college needs some set of 10 servers for your college. For 10 of the servers systems on premises, I mean on the site, you have to maintain a room, you have to maintain the hardware, you have to maintain the AC, everything. So okay. So in your college, what happens? You have to run all this hardware components, everything there. So this becomes headache. What happens is, yeah, for example, there is some issue with hardware. You have to call some technician. Okay. When you have some power outage, you will be facing some issues. And when some there are issues with some servers, you don't have immediate backup servers in your local on-premises zone there. So this is how you may be facing issues. So basically, we are adopting to the cloud. What is cloud and what are its uses? I can say, coming to cloud, coming to cloud. Basically, it has what are the features of cloud? On-demand access. Demand access. What is on-demand access? So basically, you can access any resources available anytime via internet. So what I can say is, let me explain you it very well. You will be having your laptop or your machine, right, in your hand. That means you are physically holding it. That means you have it physically. So what I can say is, what is server basically? First, we before learning all these things, we have to learn what is server here. Server. Server is nothing but when there are machines that connects to each other or delivers each other, transfers the data or whatever the functionality they are doing, that is called as servers. Coming to the cloud server is basically a virtual server. Cloud server is basically a virtual server. Virtual server, that means whatever the functionalities you are doing in your hand, in your system, you are trying to do instead of physically or maintaining on premises, you are trying to do it using the cloud there. That means here cloud servers are created using virtualization technology, allowing them to run multiple virtual machines on a single physical server. You will be having physical server. In that physical server, you will be running multiple virtual machines so that you won't have any issues when there is a power outage or whatever it is. So before going into the AWS technology and servers, I want to discuss basic needs. That's what I'm trying to say. You have your laptop or computer physically. You are having computer or laptop physically. So what your computer and laptop, all these systems basically consists of? That consists of network, that consists of network and operating system, right? Storage. See, this is all you compare, right? When you're trying to buy a laptop or computer, you try to consider whether that has a good network items or not, whether it has a good operating system inside it or not. You will be having good storage or not. So these are all the resources of this. So these are all resources of these items. So these items are providing us these items. You must have operating system. That is how you're gonna operate or maintain what all you need. And your system is having storage. That's how you're gonna store the items here in the storage, and it is having network. That's how you're gonna connect using Bluetooth, Wi-Fi. These are the components. So you can call all these items as resources. So what cloud is saying is, hey, you don't have to maintain this locally in your local area, in your local premises, in your local building. You don't have to maintain this. We will be providing you these items through cloud. You can access these items through cloud. That means they are saying you don't have to worry about this. Don't have to keep a machine, don't have to keep hardware in your buildings and maintain ACs and technicians, everything. We will be taking care of this. So this is how cloud came into the business. In cloud, there are three different services: IaaS, SaaS, PaaS. You got it? Or you can say IPS shortcut. So these are three items. You can say I means infrastructure. You got it? P is platform. S means software. Infrastructure as service, platform as service, software as service. So they are saying, hey, you don't have to maintain some items. We will be running some resources. So what happens is there is guy called Ramu. He wanted to run a business. He got some startup idea. So, our Uber, Amazon, or what I can say, what all these items are doing. So basically, delivery items. Previously, if you go 20, 30 years back, we don't have home delivery options like food and all these things. We got these new items. These are new innovations. They felt the problems from the people, and it got a new thought or idea to create easiness to the people, from where you got these ideas and implemented. So previously there is no food delivery. Now there is food delivery. You don't have to go outside. They are only getting it to you. Like how we are having multiple services. So they are saying you don't have to do all the items. I will be doing all these items. You just have to pay me for those. So they are saying depending on these needs, depending on these needs, like some people may need just operating system and hardware maintenance. Some people may need help with applications, many items. So I will explain you briefly. So according to that, there are three types of services for AWS or Azure or GCP also. There are three types of services. In IaaS, what happens here is, let me scroll this. In infrastructure as services, they are providing you foundational building blocks of IT infrastructure, such as they will give you virtual machines, storages, networks, over cloud. They are saying, hey, if you subscribe for our IaaS, infrastructure as service, we will give you all infrastructure. We will maintain the network. We will maintain the storage that you need. We will maintain the virtual machines that you need. Okay. Sorry, that's not overload. Okay. So that means they are saying, we will give you all these items. You don't have to run this. So if you observe, these are all like hardware components, storage, network, these are all like hardware components. So mostly I can say IaaS is mostly like hardware things. They're saying, if you take our IaaS services, we will provide you mostly hardware items. I'm sorry for this writing. So basically, users manages the operating system. So if you observe, he is not saying we will give you operating system here, right? They are just saying we will give you storage and networks. So what about operating systems? Windows, or you want Linux, or you want Ubuntu? They are not talking about that applications. They are not talking about a Gmail or whatever. So they are saying, if you take this, we will take care of infrastructure. And that means instead of our local hardwares in our server rooms, keeping all the hardware, running ACs and coolants and the CPUs, they're saying we will be taking care of that. You just buy from us, and we will be taking care of inside that. And you have to take care only about operating systems and applications inside that. That's IaaS. You got it right? So virtual machines and storage, this comes under IaaS. Coming to the SaaS. Coming to the SaaS. SaaS, what happens here is, let me discuss about PaaS instead of that. PaaS, platform as service. And platform as service, that what it provides is, it provides a managed platform for developing, running, and managing applications without worrying about the underlying infrastructure. It focuses on simplifying the development process. Like it is providing you, previous one in IaaS, what it is providing? Hardware. But in platform as service, it provides hardware plus operating systems also. Operating system also it will take care. Got it right? It includes like running time environments, middleware, and development tools. It can manage applications and data while the provider handles the rest. Basically, supports rapid development and pre-configured environments like these operating items, operating systems, and all. So basically, this is what PaaS is providing you. The good examples of this are like engine, like AWS Elastic Beanstalk. There are multiple resources I can say. I can discuss it later. I don't want to make complex for the new beginners here. So coming to the SaaS. In IaaS, it is giving hardware. In PaaS, it is giving hardware plus operating system. In SaaS, it gives direct software also as service. Even software also they will run. You don't have to do anything. So basically, software as service provides ready to use software applications over the internet. Users simply access the software without worrying about installation, maintenance, and infrastructure. Here, users don't have to worry about installing and configuring the applications here. Even they are giving you. I can say the simple example is Gmail. If you are going to Gmail, you're not doing anything, right? Gmail is already configured, installed over the internet. You're just accessing it. That means Gmail is also an application which you're installing in your mobile. The destination one you haven't installed. You are accessing it using browser. That means Gmail is not handy. That you are taking it from the accessing it from the over the internet. So it is providing you application access also. Applications also maintained here. So if, in the first part mostly hardware. Second part is taking care about hardware plus operating systems also. Third part it is managing everything, mostly everything here. Got it right? That is what. So maybe you can say when to use what, whether your company should choose IAS, PAS, SAS. Basically, IAS are mostly for organizations needing flexibility and control over infrastructure, and PS is ideal for developers focused on building and deploying applications without managing. Basically, PAS, you can see hardware, it has hardware and operating systems also. Basically, developers what can do, they can experiment the applications and deploy the applications inside their operating system. Before that, they don't have to worry about hardware and operating system also. That's how it's gonna manage here in PAS. Okay, this is how you are managing. And SaaS, if you come for SaaS, that's primarily for business and individual needing ready to use software without uh, minimal setup. Example, GR, email, and CRM tools, you can use it here. So this is what all the services a cloud platforms are providing us. This is just not only the concept of AWS, it is the concept of AWS, Azure, and GCP also. So just try to understand these cloud services are not doing anything more than providing you what all you are doing physically. That's physically you are accessing. Now you are accessing over cloud. Understood? So basically, you used to work physically. You used to take physically the network, storage, everything. Now using the cloud, you're using it. Cloud, what it used to do? Over the internet, you can access these resources. Over the internet. So I don't know. Talking more about to more theoretically may help you guys or not. Achieve what you need. So I just want to make this session practical. So let's today focus on creating a AWS free tier account. So basically, AWS provides 1 year of free tier, 12 months compared to Azure. Yeah, there is another reason why I chose AWS. Azure basically gives only 2 months or 1 month access to access their resources freely to do experiments and to do some practicals. But AWS provides you 12 months of accesses. So that's better. You will get long time to practice their resources. If I come here, what we can do here is let's go to AWS. Just search for AWS free tier. Today I'll help you creating a free tier account. If time permits, I will just go to one resource and try to access one resource. If not, I'll just help you out creating the free tier account. If you don't have AWS account, see, normal AWS account is different. This AWS account is different. Don't get confused. Like maybe I already have account, I should sign in from there. It's not like that. Maybe you can do that also, but for me, it didn't work. Go to create AWS account. Here, you should select AWS basic support free. Basically, I tried to complete this process before I started meeting. So I already have account with other Gmail, but for you, for making guys easy understand, I'm doing from scratch for you guys. So just there, which I shown there, click on create free tier account. Just give your email ID and password with which you wanna create. It will give you OTP. From there, step one is like adding a address. Step two is like adding your payment method. Don't worry, payment is free. Basically, you have to click on AWS free tier, then come into process. If you can come here, it just deducts $1, and that's two. That too, it is a refundable one. So basically, this is my process after giving my personal details and payment method card. It just asks you for the security purposes. That's it. So coming to the sign up for AWS, I have different plans here. Basic support. It's free, recommended for new users just getting started with AWS. It gives self-service also to access to many AWS resources. And for account and billing users only, like access to personal health dashboard and everything. So blah blah. Just click here and click on complete sign up. May take little time. Maybe you guys can parallelly do that along with me. Like you guys can go to browser and start doing this. See, it is saying, hey, congratulations. Thanks for signing up with AWS. You are activating your account, which should take few minutes. You will receive an email when this is completed. Go to AWS Management Console. See, this is how your console looks, your portal looks. Once you logged in, this is how your portal looks. Here you can access multiple resources. I will try to show you example what it is giving us. These are all AWS resources. Just don't get confused. It's not too complex. So if you see here, you when you went to grocery store or when you go to some kirana store like a fancy store, you will be having multiple resources there, right? If you go to some market, they will say, hey, we have alcohol. Hey, we have restaurant. We have items to purchase. We have gift items. So they have their own multiple items for the customers, so that their customers will come in again and again. They will shop all at one store so that they will purchase. If you see, you have other stores where you can't find all items at the one place. You will go to the place where you can get all items at the single place, right? That's how AWS, Azure, GCP, these are also like grocery stores only. This is more technical one. That's not technical. That's a simple difference. If you see here, why I said that. If you go to the all services, these are all services they are giving you. Like we will be having service like if you go to spa, they will give different types of massages. It's their service, and it is also saying, hey, see, I'm a businessman. Maybe you guys are business guys. You need servers, you need computers, you need so many computers. They're saying, hey, you want computers? Okay, I'll be having EC2 instance. Hey, you want storage? You are out of storage. Okay, use our storage devices. Like this, see, this is having multiple services here. It is having compute. It is having containers where you can store. It is having database services. These are all services, machine learning services, game development services. So these are all the services, storage services. So if you can see, even coming to the different platforms, if I'm from DevOps domain, mostly I'll be working with compute. Where I work with in compute, I need many EC2 instances, servers there. If I'm a data guy, I may be working more with storage. I need storage accounts and multiple storage to get my raw data, or I wanna store that data into this. This is how I use it. For machine learning guys, this is how what the service they use. For networking guys, they use the networking. See, there are multiple concepts. If I go into the compute, I have multiple servers, virtual servers. Mostly I work here. It is telling about EC2 image builders. It is having Lambda. Multiple services are there. So depending on job and skills required, you use multiple services. So you guys keeping you guys and different domain candidates in mind. I am trying to cover the important resources like compute, storage, and network, and some items which may be helpful for you guys. I got it right. I can't tell you everything, or I can't just talk about compute, because if I talk just about EC2 and servers and all those items, it may be just helpful for DevOps engineer, but not data scientist or data engineer guy. If I just talk about network, that helps only for the cybersecurity guys, not others. So I'll try to cover the resources that may be helpful for mostly all of us. So today I want to talk more about registration and this stuff, but I want to talk another item also here. If you can see, US East to console.aws.com. If you can see here, it defaultly selected a region. Here it is another, there is another important topic which I should talk about. Let me do this. Let me go to, where is the free form?
కన్సల్టెన్సీ రోజు ఒక మీటింగ్ ఉంటుంది. మీటింగ్ అంటే లైక్ వాడు ఎక్స్ప్లెయిన్ చేస్తాడు.
Let me come here.
మొన్నటిదాకా గిట్ చెప్పిండు, ఈరోజు క్లౌడ్. గిట్ చెప్పినప్పుడు నేను వదిలేసింది, నాకు ఆల్రెడీ గిట్.
See, come here. There is concept called, sorry, there is concept called region availability zones in cloud. Okay, I can say in region there will be multiple available zones. What is region and what is availability zone? If I come here, if you see, it is already selecting a region. Basically, these are regions. Let me show you from the Google. AWS regions over the world. You can see. See, these are all the data centers of the AWS. What is data center? Basically, like I'm saying, we are accessing our resources from the cloud. You are not keeping your systems or computers physically in your buildings, because AWS or GCP or Azure are covering that for you. You are accessing from the internet. That doesn't mean you don't need physical items there. Instead of you maintaining them, they are maintaining it in different places. These are data centers. These are data sensors. Here you will be having physical hardwares instead of every individual houses or buildings. For us, they are having data centers, biggest data centers, where you will be having lot of computers, lot of hardwares, lot of storage devices. They are maintaining for us, guys. So like we have some call centers, like we have service centers, they have data centers around the world. In India also we have it in Mumbai. We have multiple data centers, and even we have heard many times like, hey, new data center is coming in Vizag, new data center is coming in Hyderabad. That means they're establishing a data centers there. Each data center is each region. That means if it is here, Mumbai, if data center is in Mumbai, you will say Mumbai region. Now it is automatically taking Ohio. If I'm here, it will take the nearest region. There is, you know why there is concept called region? For example, AWS data centers are only in USA, and you are the guy from India who wanna access server from cloud. You will be facing a latency. Latency means slowness. You will not, your internet, you can't access it with high speed like American guys are doing it. So they tried to install or establish the data centers nearby you, the whole world. So that is how and why the regions got created, and in the whole world. Coming to the region, this is fine. Okay, inside regions you will be having data centers. What is availability zones? Maybe in single Mumbai, only one data center will not be there. In the same region, you will be having three zones, three data centers. In region, there will be data centers. There are three data centers. That means you will be having three availability zones. You got it right. So these are three availability zones. That means, for example, there is some issue here, or maybe the servers in this data centers having facing some issues, power outage or whatever it is, maybe some earthquake or whatever. We will be having another availability zone backup. See, when you are paying to the Airtel or Idea or Vodafone, if you if they stop to your services, will you keep calm? No, right? We will shout back. So like this, the AWS also saying, hey, we are providing you good services. Like we will try to make customers feel happy with our availability, with our elasticity. That's how they're having multiple zones here. So if something happens here, you will be having backup here. So your resource, if you're taking EC2 or storage resource here, that deploys in multiple zones also. There will be option when you are configuring if you want to replicate it over multiple zones in the single region. That means if something happens to your zone, still your data will be in another zone. If something happens to your server here, still you can access it from here. So for example, if you see when there are exams results, you can see multiple users will try to open the servers. You can see you will say server is down, server is too slow. At that time, what happens? If your business or if your college is paying less, you will be having latency there, because there is concept called load balancing in AWS. I will discuss every component in very detail. I want to take long sessions, maybe whole week also for this to make you easy understand. So don't worry. So there is concept called load balancing here. So when multiple loads are coming here from the users, like many guys are trying to access this. If there is issue with this availability zone or the servers in this zone, they will the load balancers in the name itself it is there load balancer. When there is heavy load, it will balance the load by throwing the request to this zone. So that's how zones and availability zones are working, and reason this is how it's working. So I have accessed it in USA, and my nearby location is Ohio, maybe data center. That's why it's here. If I'm in India and I'm trying to access this, maybe it will choose Mumbai there, Pune, or whatever it is. See, this is zone. This is region. In here there are zones also, so this is how it is defaultly taking. Basically you can select other zones also manually. There is nothing like you have to choose this one only. You can even choose your own zones, but for your own good it defaultly creating that. So these are the easy resources. EC2, that means servers here. Server is what? Your own laptop. If you want to connect, you have your laptop in your hand. If you want to connect to your friend's laptop, what you will do? Using your laptop, if you want to connect with other laptop, your computer acts as a server. Like how we will be having servers here, EC2 servers. If you wanna, this is in cloud. If you wanna access this, we are connect this EC2 instances using cloud over internet. Server is nothing but like I said, it's like computer. In a computer, we will be having what? Storage, servers, operating systems, multiple items. This I will give you picture clarity in coming few sessions. So these are all the resources you can access from here. And that is what I want to talk about: resources and availability zones basics, and platform as service, infrastructure as service, software as service. I believe you guys understood, and I still want you guys to recap it or try to make it learned from Chrome. If you don't understand browser, browse it, explore it. If you still don't understand, you can still ping me personally. I can explain you. So basically, cloud platforms are providing you multiple items. They are saying, hey, if you don't want to maintain your hardware, we will be maintaining it. That's infrastructure. They are saying if you don't want to maintain operating system, you just want to take care about applications only. That is like platform as service. If they are saying, hey, even software applications also we will take care. That's a software as service. Depending on your business needs, depending on your need, you will access it. Maybe I don't want EC2 for my business. I felt like, hey, I started a startup. Maybe I need more storage devices. I don't want to maintain storages with me, like storage servers with me, databases with me. I don't wanna take this. I just wanna give this responsibility to AWS so that it will take care. I will pay it monthly. So there is good feature about AWS, Azure, and GCP. These are like pay as you go. That means how much it calculates hourly or minute based. Some of the services it calculates hourly and it will generate you bill at the month end. Now you're using free tier, that's why you're not getting it. But when you're using in real time for business needs, it will automatically take the resources. Use you will use the resources. It will generate the bill. Like it will generate the Wi-Fi bill, everything. It will generate the bill. That's how you're gonna pay. You will pay only to what you have used. Without using other resources, it will not generate any other bills. So these are the good features of AWS, and yeah, that's what today I wanna give you a brief intro. Not core into tomorrow. From next class, we're gonna create instances. We wanna see how it works, how we can create storage accounts, servers, and the network. How can we work with networking? We'll go deep dive into that practically. Today starting, that's why we're gonna give glimpse to everyone. Thank you so much.